Claude just dropped their brand new Mythos 5 and Fable 5 models, and these are the most capable and the strongest AI models that have ever been released. And by the end of this video, you're going to know everything that's possible with them, the correct way to prompt them, and even how to connect them to more than 9,000 different apps so that you can literally automate anything you could think of, because this is probably the craziest update that we've ever gotten. So in order to actually access this model, it's going to be incredibly easy. It's now available inside of the API. If you just simply come over to Claude, you're going to see that this is now available right here. And you could see that Fable is the most capable model and it uses 2 times the usage of Opus. Now, right now, this model is available until June 22nd. If we actually click in here, we could see it's included until June 22nd. After June 22nd, they're actually going to charge for this model separately because it is literally so powerful and so advanced that they don't have enough compute for everybody to be able to use it. So we could see right here that it's called Fable 5. It's basically the same exact thing as Mythos. I don't know why they kind of just released it under 2 different names. So if we actually come over here, we could see that we have access. In addition to that, we could see that we could set this to low, medium, high, extra, or max effort. And one thing that I will say, if you use this on extra or max effort, it is crazy capable, but it is literally going to eat your credits with like 1 or 2 prompts. The next way that you can access it is actually going to be from inside of Claude Cowork right here. And we could see that Cowork actually gives us 2 times the amount of usage right now up until July 5th. And if we come over here into our models, we're going to see that we now have Fable 5 right here. So they're giving you double the usage so that you can actually see how powerful this model is before they get rid of it. Well, not get rid of it, you know what I mean, actually take it out of Claude and make it a usage model only. So please make sure you're taking advantage of this before they do that. Now, in terms of what this actually looks like on the benchmarks, before I show you some pretty insane use cases and how this actually compares, we could see that we have Claude Mythos 5 or Fable 5, they're calling it the same exact thing. And then we have Claude Opus 4.8 right here, which is up until earlier this morning, the most capable model that we've had. So we could see agentic coding absolutely crushes it. Agentic coding here too, absolutely crushes it. Knowledge work, crushes it. Knowledge work vision, crushes it. Spatial reasoning, crushes it. Tool use, crushes it. Computer use, Mythos Preview was slightly better than this model, but this model is way better than anything else that exists. Legal, crushes everything. Multidisciplinary reasoning, crushes everything. Biology, crushes everything. Agentic coding, crushes everything. Cybersecurity, crushes everything. Health, crushes everything. In fact, cybersecurity right here, I want to show you this. Opus 4.8 is a 40%. This is a 78%. So this model is literally 2x better than anything else that existed before yesterday. In addition to that, if we look at the frontier code right here, it is way better than anything else. Agentic coding, way better than anything else. If we come into any of these other things here, it is way better than literally every other model that's ever existed. And I want to show you just how big of a difference this actually makes. So the first thing right here is showing off visualizing all asteroids in a solar system from NASA data. On the right-hand side, we have what Opus 4.8 looks like. On the left-hand side, we have what Fable looks like. And we could see that the difference between these two is incredible. The next thing I wanted to show off is actually asking this to design a site plan for a 100-acre fitness retreat. And I want you to show the difference between what Fable 5 gave and what Opus 4.8 gave. We could see Fable 5 way more complex right here. It makes Opus 4.8 look like child's play. In addition to that, we asked this to reconstruct Apollo control panels from technical PDFs, and here's what we got. We could see the left is way better than the right. In fact, there is a drastic difference between these two, how good it is. The next thing that we asked this to do was simulate the supply chain for World Cup jersey sales based on match outcomes. And look at this. Again, on the left-hand side, Fable 5 gives the best results. And then the final thing was that we asked this to show the effects of solar flares on Aura, and as we could see, Opus 4.5 struggled with this. In fact, it failed. It came with a bunch of different issues, but Fable 5 was able to handle this like child's play. Now, in addition to all that, Claude also did drop a brand new prompting guide for Mythos 5 because you have to prompt this tool totally different than any other tool. But before I show you that, I wanted to make sure that you have Claude hooked up to as many of your apps as humanly possible, because if you're only relying on Claude connectors, you're only using Claude at like a 10% capability. And this is a huge mistake, because if you're using the most powerful model in the world, you want to make sure you have it hooked up to all of your apps. And this is exactly why I personally have my Claude hooked up to Zapier's MCP, because Zapier lets you connect your Claude to more than 9,000 different apps in a secure way, and you could do it in less than 30 seconds if you go to the pinned comment below and get started with Zapier's MCP today. Because once you have this connected, this is what really makes Claude powerful, because not only does it access just the connectors that you already have connected, it also gets access to more than 9,000 different apps that you didn't know Claude was able to access. For example, I use it to power this workflow right here. Now, one of the easiest and most helpful use cases you could get set up with this is literally just coming into Cowork and dropping in this prompt right here. So this is going to be a daily brief using Zapier. So using my Zapier MCP connection, I want you to create a daily brief. I want you to look at my Slack and notify me of any unread messages that are urgent and that I need to get back to. I want you to look at my Gmail and notify me of any unread messages that are urgent and that I need to get back to. I want you to look at my calendar and brief me on what I need to get done today. In addition, based on the goals that you know about, let me know the 3 biggest things that I need to get done today. And there's one other thing to add on to this. And that is that finally, I want you to draft replies to the urgent Slacks and Gmail so that I can have you send them if I approve them. So this is actually way better than just a daily brief, because this is going to be a daily brief that takes into consideration your goals and things that you've been working with inside of Claude. In addition to that, this is going to be one click ready to actually take action on all these things instead of just notifying us and putting more work on our plate. If you wanted to, you could do this inside of a project, and it comes to ask right here, I would have this act without asking for this specific thing right here. And we could see it's actually getting access to all of this. In addition to that, the default model right here, we could choose Fable 5 in order for this to be the most powerful possible. And in terms of frequency, I would have this happen weekdays every day at 9 a.m., 8 a.m., or 7 a.m., basically right before you get into the office. And then this is going to be the result. And now here's what this actually looks like every morning. I have my urgent Slack messages right here, when they were actually sent, what they're about. I have my urgent Gmail messages right here. I have exactly what today's calendar actually looks like right here. I have my top 3 priority actions, and I have these draft replies right here. And literally all I have to say to this is, yes, I like these. Go ahead and send them over, and it will actually take action on my behalf. So again, what this is actually doing right here is this is not only connecting to all my different tools and using those, it's actually able to then take action once I approve this, which is insane. And this is what's made possible with Zapier, because it's the only MCP server that literally connects to everything, more than 9,000 different tools. And they have tons of use cases that are automatically ready to go to be able to replicate something like a team lead, a sales rep, an executive assistant, or anything else that you could think of. So go to that pinned comment below and get started with Zapier MCP today so you can hook your Claude up to more than 9,000 different apps to automate anything you could think of. Now, the next thing that we did need to cover is that Claude also dropped this prompting guide for Fable 5 and Mythos 5, because there are huge behavioral differences and prompting patterns for Claude, Fable 5, and Mythos 5 that cover effort, instruction following, long run, memory, and a bunch of scaffolding different changes. Now, this is a huge document right here, and I'm sure you don't want to go through it, so guess what I did? I copied that over there. I came over to Claude right here, and I said, make this really easy to understand. Give me the high-level takeaways to get the most out of this and make it look visually appealing for a YouTube video. I gave this task to Fable 5 in order to show this off. And now here is exactly what it created. So it says that this model is for going bigger, hand it your hardest problems, expect it to run for a longer time, minutes per turn is incredibly normal. You want to strip out your old prompts because old rules can actually hurt your outputs. You want to give it memory and access to as many different things as you can. You want to make sure that you're using the effort dial and start with default of high and tune it per task. You want to keep instructions short. One line beats really long lists, which is a massive change from other models. You want to set boundaries, so you want to tell it what not to do, and you want to demand evidence, progress, claims, need, tool, proof. And then this actually goes through everything that we could actually show off here. So we have the old way right here, which would be break big work into small chunks and feed them in one way at a time. With Fable 5, you could literally just hand over the entire project. The old way would be sit and watch each response, come back in seconds. This one is you're going to kick it off, you're going to walk away, and this is going to run for minutes, and autonomous runs can go for hours. Instead of writing really long prompts listing every behavior and edge case, you could just give it short instructions and delete the over detailed prompts, because now they're actually hurting you instead of helping you. In addition to that, you don't have to pick a model tier for smart versus fast. You want to pick an effort level instead. So high by default, extra high for critical work, and then low for more routine work. But honestly, if you're using low on Fable or Mythos, I would strongly suggest that you should probably be using something like Opus. In addition to that, you could trust the model status updates on long tests. This is the old way. Now, you're going to require receipts. Every progress claim must be a point to an actual tool, result. In addition to that, the old way is starting every session from 0, but now with Fable 5, you give it a lessons file it writes to between runs, so it learns your workflow over time, which is pretty insane. And these are really the biggest differences that come out of how you should be prompting Fable 5 and Mythos 5 versus the older models. And by the way, if you didn't know this, they also have a prompting guide for Claude Opus 4.8 because this wants to be prompted a different way instead. Now, the last use case I wanted to show you here is going to be something incredibly practical. So I'm coming over here and I'm saying to Mythos 5, I need you to create 3 new lead magnets for my Instagram ManyChat automations. I need a guide to prompting Claude, a guide to prompting ChatGPT, and a guide to prompting Google Gemini. Please research all 3 of these to make sure everything's up to date with the latest models and best practices. Now, we're going to give this to Mythos. We're going to walk away and we're going to come back in just a few minutes and see how good this actually did here. And what this right here is really going to show off is how complex this is. This is going to create images, this is going to create graphics, this is going to do research, and this is going to actually make me these 3 documents so that I can begin to use them for my lead magnets. And these aren't going to be simple documents, they're going to be incredibly long. So the first thing that we could see is this is actually using the web in order to actually go through, get the current model lineups and best practices, and then it's actually going to build out the guides. Now I want to show you just how crazy everything that this just did. So it went through, it did all of the research right here, found strong data on Claude, went through and did it for Google Gemini, went through and did it for GPT, and then what this actually did was it realized I needed to make PDFs, so it went and started using the PDF creation skill. Then what it did was it actually went through and thought like a design agent, and it said that it wanted to actually get a bunch of different custom fonts so that this doesn't look generic and like everything else, and instead of it looking templated, it'll look premium. Then this actually went through and this made all 3 of our prompting guides right here, and we could check out exactly what they look like. For example, for Gemini, this is what it looks like, and this is absolutely incredible here. If we come over to ChatGPT, we could see what this looks like right here, and we could see it made all of them look different based on the actual colors of that model. And this is incredible because this went through and did everything thinking like a designer, thinking like a researcher, and guess what? It literally did this off of a simple prompt and not me having to do some crazy prompt engineering. And that's what really makes this model incredibly powerful. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn about all the other updates that Claude has recently dropped, I would strongly suggest you check out this video right here that walks you through a bunch of other changes. I'll see you over there.